Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Empower Massachusetts program overview video, the first of several videos to give you more information on the Empower Massachusetts program. My name is Lisa Dobbs. I'm the program manager for Empower, and I look forward to giving you a bit more information about the program, the opportunities under the program, support and education we're offering, as well as related informational videos. First, I wanted to provide a little bit of background on kind of how we got to where we are now with Empower. First, we wanted to acknowledge that in spite of the fact that there are, of course, great successes that we've had in the clean energy industry, there is still a persistent inequitable energy burden and access to clean energy for a lot of populations in the state. We know that low-income homes have a disproportionate energy burden. We know that research shows that solar adoption lags for renters in minority communities. MassSave's non-participant study found that renters, low-income households, and non-English speaking households are more likely to not utilize energy efficiency incentives. And with all of that, we want to state that all residents of Massachusetts need and deserve to be part of our collective clean energy future. In thinking on some lessons learned from previous models, previous community-based models that we have run, Solarize and HeatSmart, we know that there are still persistent barriers such as time and upfront costs that we need to help figure out how to tackle. We know that not all communities are well served by a volunteer-led model. And in not reaching all those communities, there's likely communities and businesses that have ideas for other models to expand clean energy that we haven't had the opportunity to meet yet and learn from. And that leveraging relationships with trusted community partners is key to campaign success. Putting all of this together is what drove us to the design and implementation of Empower. So looking forward to sharing exactly what we came up with here. So what is our overarching goal? Our overarching goal is to provide access to the benefits of clean energy for previously underserved populations in Massachusetts. Now, of course, access to clean energy often means simply just a solar PV install, which of course is certainly clean energy. But we'd like to think a little bit more holistically about it. And underneath this program, we're considering access to be, of course, direct adoption of clean energy technologies, such as solar PV on your roof, like I've mentioned. It can also mean access to the benefits of clean energy, such as cooling from heat pumps in your home or maybe in a community center, or even access to community shared solar. We also want access to mean reducing energy burden. And this could be through means such as access to community shared solar or energy efficiency measures to reduce electricity bills. So we wanted to think about this as holistically as possible to ensure that everyone is getting the broader range of benefits and not just what comes from direct adoption, especially since that can be challenging for the broad sort of spectrum of the population across Massachusetts. So what are we proposing? We're proposing to invest directly in communities and community-based organizations and crowdsource solutions for program models or projects towards helping increase that access to the benefits of clean energy or reduce that energy burden. We believe that many of the solutions to clean energy access lie within the communities themselves. So with that, our program goals. We want to increase organizational capacity. We want to identify innovative solutions, and we want to implement those innovative solutions. All of this, of course, working towards those program models or projects to increase that access to the benefits of clean energy for specific populations in the Commonwealth. So the opportunities under the program. So first, we're offering participant workshops. We're offering 2 initial workshops in June. And the goal of those workshops is to get folks together, talk about challenges, brainstorm solutions, and also facilitate partnerships, because we know that that's going to be key for the success of the various program models or projects that may be implemented as a result of this program. We're also offering 2 different levels of grants. First, what we're calling our innovation and capacity building grants, which are for exactly that. They're what you could consider sort of a seed funding grant, which is an early stage grant to innovate ideas and build organizational capacity towards exploring future initiatives for implementation. So this could be something like paying staff to do community outreach sessions to learn more about the challenges and opportunities. These will range from $5,000 to $25,000. And then the larger scale grant that we're offering is called our implementation grants, which again are exactly that, larger funding to implement that program model or project. And those grants range from $50,000 to $150,000. And ideally, these will all sort of support each other as well. You could participate in a workshop and then apply to a grant, or apply to one grant now and then another one in the future. So there's a lot of ways that this can work in a flexible way, depending on the stage that you're at with your idea. So I've mentioned priority populations a few times, and so did just want to call out that, you know, for the purposes of this program, we are terming population priority groups, and those are defined as environmental justice populations as defined by EEA policy. So that is populations with low income, English isolation, and minority populations. We're also terming priority groups as renters and communities disproportionately impacted by environmental hazards such as air quality or heat. It's important to note that potential applicants can touch base with us if they have a question about the eligibility of your particular target community, or would like to propose another priority group for consideration. It's also important to note that priority groups do not have to be geographically bound. An example of this is you may have a religious network that is primarily minority population, and you want to do perhaps a solar PV adoption initiative through that affinity group. And so that's a feasible potential option, as the minorities would qualify under the environmental justice population aspect of the terminology here. So just something to think about there as well. So who should participate or apply to these grants? Of course, we're looking for anyone and everyone looking to increase equitable access to clean energy. So we're keeping the field pretty wide open here. We're especially hoping for community-based organizations with a demonstrated history of working with priority populations. Other folks that are eligible are nonprofits or other individuals, municipalities, including MLP communities, and for-profit organizations such as clean energy installers and financial institutions. The latter two that I've mentioned here with the stars must partner with a community-based organization to be eligible to apply. We really want to highlight what we see as a critical importance in leveraging partnerships and also uplifting other organizations, especially community-based organizations, you know, by way of, you know, maybe being a lead applicant on an application that a community-based organization doesn't have the bandwidth to write up, or maybe doesn't have the ability to take in money, and so you can serve as their fiscal sponsor. So we just wanted to ensure folks knew about that, and that, you know, in all, if anyone is looking for help facilitating partnerships, we'd love to be a part of that, so get in touch. Wanted to offer the timeline for some expectation setting. We released the opportunities for both grants on May 18th, so a little over a week ago. We're offering 2 deadlines for the innovation and capacity building grants at about 3 and 6 month time frame. So the first being August 18th and the second being November 10th. For the implementation grants, there's also that same first 3 month deadline. So those are also due on August 18th, but there is no secondary deadline. So there's the one singular deadline for the implementation grants. The Empower workshop schedule, the initial schedule is the first opportunity is on June 9th from 12 to 2 p.m. and the second is on June 16th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. All of the information can be found on the website on what they entail, how to sign up, so definitely check that out. We also want to highlight the overarching support that we're offering through this program. We're offering one-on-one feedback sessions as well as office hours. We want to ensure that everyone's getting an opportunity to get their questions answered. We also want to provide learning opportunities. We're offering clean energy educational modules on the site, as well as these informational videos to learn more about the program. We also want to help leverage those partnerships, get folks to network. So we're offering to facilitate introductions to the best of our ability. And we're also hosting a Slack channel for folks to potentially meet partners, share ideas, et cetera, as well. If there is another type of support you're looking to see or hoping to get, please reach out. We'd love to hear about it. So more information. I mentioned all of this is contained on our website, and this is also where you find other videos. masscec.com/empower-Massachusetts. And here is also a link to our request for proposals page, which you can also find through our program website. Stay tuned for our related videos on each of the grants and how to apply. And please reach out if you have any other suggestions. Thanks so much for watching today. Stay tuned for our other video opportunities.